What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 63, and we started today's episode off by requesting some funds from the board. As you can see, we asked them for £5 million, and as you can see as well, they decided to give us £5 million. Now, the reason we done that is quite simple. After the signing of Conor on deadline day, we had no money left over, which isn't good on its own, but it's also not good when your star goalkeeper's been put on the transfer list because he hasn't been offered an improved deal yet. So because we had no money left over, we couldn't offer him a new contract. So Butland's been sitting here really unhappy that he's not getting paid as much as he thinks he should be getting paid, but we can't even offer him an improved contract as we didn't have the money. We get £5 million, we offered him an improved contract, but he comes back to us and says, actually, I've decided that once my contract runs down, I'm going to leave the club. So that's not really good news, is it? Jack Butland has been in inspired form this season. In the last game, he won us a penalty against Bayer Leverkusen to ensure we get ourselves a point from that spot kick, which Troy Deeney converted. So Butland's had a fantastic start to the season. We offer him a new contract. We want to get him off the transfer list of the board to put him on since he hasn't been given a new deal, but he says no. We offer him a second contract and we shall wait and see what he says. So, it's not really too big of a deal because he's got 2 years and 10 months left on his deal, so he can't leave in January on a pre-contract, and we've got time to sort this issue out. But let's be honest here, we don't want to see a player remain on the transfer list when he's still in our first team and has his morale still as unhappy. So we want to improve that as soon as possible. We want to see him get tied down to a longer contract. We offer him a better deal and we shall wait and see what he says. Still, we take on Chelsea for the first game of today's episode here away at Stamford Bridge, the first of two big Premier League games. First chance would fall to Chelsea, but the second chance would fall to us in the quarter of an hour mark here as Callas gives the ball away. We steal in, win it back and open the scoring through, guess who? Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Of course, 15 minutes in, Loftus-Cheek returning to Stamford Bridge for the first time as a permanent Watford player, opens the scoring to make it Chelsea 0, Watford 1. Really lazy on the ball from Callas there. Loftus-Cheek steals in. I've said before, the reason I'm trying him as a striker is because he's a physical threat. He imposes pressure on the defense. He wins the ball back here, goes through one-on-one. It just had to be Loftus-Cheek, didn't it? Opening the scoring after a dramatic summer transfer window where he went back to Chelsea. It looked as though he was going to stay there. Said he didn't want to relocate to Hertfordshire permanently. Then does a U-turn, has a change of heart, comes to Watford, signs for us on a permanent deal, and his first game as a permanent Watford player at Chelsea ends up seeing him open the scoring just 15 minutes in. Mario Balotelli should have doubled our lead in the 37th minute. He got sent through by Ruben, but the shot hit the post and went behind for a goal kick. And in the 45th minute here, another great chance for Balotelli. Once again, Loftus-Cheek plays him through, this time with a fantastic first-time cross. Balotelli goes for goal, but can't hit the target, and he goes behind for a goal kick. But at half-time, as you can see, Chelsea were dominating possession. They had a few chances themselves, but I felt we were playing really well. And in the second half, we started brightly too. Loftus-Cheek in the 54th minute goes through here on a lovely run, picks out Mario Balotelli. Finally, Balotelli does get his first goal of the game, or so he thinks, but unfortunately for him, the flag is up for offside, and the goal will not count. So good finish by Balotelli there after a nice run through ball by Loftus-Cheek, but as you can see, the linesman calls it right. He's a few yards offside, and the goal does not stand. So still Chelsea 0, Watford 1 in this game. And in the 57th minute, a great chance for Chelsea to equalise. Marco Marine finds Kennedy here, who we also had on loan for the first season, the second half of the first season. He goes for goal, but it's a great save by Butland, tipping it onto the post, and it is still 1-0 in this game. But sadly for us, we wouldn't hold on for a 1-0 victory because late on in the game, Chelsea would equalise with just under 11 minutes to play. It's Ramirez who gets the goal to equalise for the home side and make it Chelsea 1, Watford 1. And it was really frustrating as well because yes, Kennedy hit the post in the second half, but I felt for the most part in this game we were playing pretty well. We were defending alright. Chelsea did have a lot of possession in this game, saw a lot of the ball, but I thought we were playing quite well, had a lot of good chances ourselves, and unfortunately for us, we do drop points and only get ourselves a draw at Stamford Bridge. In the first couple of seasons, Chelsea 1, Watford 1 wouldn't have sounded like a bad result for us at all, but this season with us wanting to be title contenders, wanting to win our first Premier League title with Watford, those are the games where we really do need to make sure we see out the 3 points and get the win. Chelsea are a really good side. Of course, this season we're sure as well they will be doing everything they can to try and get themselves into a title race. But for us, after the start of the season, we've had a really solid win against City on the opening day. We beat Spurs, we beat United in our last Premier League game before that one. That was a game where we really should have held on to the win, but sadly could only get ourselves a draw. The stats in that game lied as well, man. Seriously, we had far more shots than what was shown. We played really well, and I thought we were quite misfortunate not to get all 3 Still, following out, we have a squad report here. Once again, a reminder, squad reports are shown at the start of every single April in-game calendar month, so you can see how the players are currently getting on. You also saw some training there as well, and Chris Cheeto said he's not getting on the pitch very often, and I was like, mate, I gave you a start against Fleetwood Town, and you were pretty terrible. So yeah, for Chris Cheeto to say that, I thought was kind of funny, because yes, he's not getting much play time, that is true, but Butland's been in inspired form since the start of the season, so we can't really be too surprised that right now he's settling for a place on the bench. Still, look at the squad report here, so you can see how the players are currently getting on. Some decent growth already for a few players this season. You'll see our youth players are going up by 1 rating at the moment, which is nice to see, and also Marco the Magician as well has gone up by 2 ratings to start the season off with. He hasn't grown any physicals for a while, Marco, which is a bit worrying because he was growing physicals quite a bit. He's gone up to 79 acceleration and 80 for sprint speed, and I'm hoping they will start to continue to develop again in the near future, because, you know, 79 acceleration, 80 sprint speed is fine for a winger. I'm fine with that, but I was hoping if he just continues to develop his physicals whilst we train his technicals, he'll turn into an absolute monster. If he stays at that pace, it's not disastrous or anything. We can still use him on the wing. He's totally fine there, but I just really do hope he does start to grow in physicals again. Still following that, look at the Champions League group as well. 4 points from our opening 2 games. And as you can see as well, Butland once again decides to refuse the contract, and that is a massive, massive blow for us. So for the second time, we offered Jack Butland the contract, but he says no. So what is going to happen with Jack Butland? Is he going to stay here at Watford, or maybe we might cash in for him in January? We'll have to wait and see. Still following out 2 international friendlies with Canada. We won the first one against Austria. Our youth player, McKendry, who's now on loan at Portsmouth, got the winner in that game. And the second one was against Norway, and despite them going down to 10 men early, we did lose that game by 2-1. As I mentioned before, I don't know what's going to happen with the Canadian project, because there's no World Cup qualifiers. I don't understand how we can possibly qualify for a World Cup, obviously, with no qualifiers. So I don't know what's going to happen there. We'll have to wait and see what happens come the end of the season when the World Cup is being played. Maybe we'll just automatically go into the group stage. I'm not too sure. But I'm just really frustrated about that, man. I really am, because the objective is to qualify for the World Cup. And if we don't have any qualifiers, we can't do that. And it's really annoying that the game will let you manage a nation when they've only got friendlies to play. Like, what's the point of even, you know, making them as a playable nation in the game? It's really bizarre. But we'll have to wait and see. Still, we take on Arsenal for the second and final game of today's episode here, as Arsene Wenger's side come and take us on here at Vicarage Road. On the back of the draw against Chelsea, though, coming into this game, I was feeling really, really confident. The players were fit and rested after the international break, but sadly there was no Reed avowed as he got injured in international duty. And the first couple of chances would fall to us here. First, Mario Balotelli's header going over the bar, and then in the 21st minute here, Marco Ryan Tyler takes it around Bellerin, Koscielny, and a third Arsenal player. He goes for goal, puts the shot just wide the post and behind for a goal kick, and it was still 0-0. Good early pressure though, that's what we wanted to see. But in the 36th minute, a good chance for Arsenal to open the scoring with their first chance of the game. John Terrell and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain play a quick 1-2 here. Terrell goes for goal, but puts the shot over the bar and behind. So still 0-0. But in the 41st minute here, how about this? Arsenal must have thought they were in to open the scoring as Alexis Sanchez gets played through 1-on-1. The Chilean's about to go through and shoot against Jack Butland, but what a fantastic last-ditch slide tackle from the former Liverpool, Southampton and Crystal Palace right back Nathaniel Klein. Superbly timed, brilliant challenge, and he gets it behind for a corner and shows us all why I was so desperate to sign him in the summer transfer window. So still 0-0, great piece of defending. Jack Butland then made a really good save there on the stroke of half-time to deny Danny Welbeck, and it was still goalless. And in the second half, we had the first chance of the new half. Really good chance there, but that header was well saved by Petr Cech and eventually cleared away. From that, we won ourselves a free kick there, 17 minutes before the end. Conor Plianka stands over it alongside Mario Balotelli. We eventually roll it off towards John Joe Shelvey after Buffal runs over the ball. Shelvey off the bench goes for goal with a first-time strike with the weaker left foot, but it hits the post and Gabriel turns it behind for a corner. So still 0-0, and the final chance of the game would fall in stoppage time here as Coquelin gets on the ball for Arsenal, keeps hold of it nicely, plays it through towards Ramsey, great through ball inside towards John Terrell. It's a fantastic save by Jack Butland on the one-on-one, bails us out and makes sure that we do grab ourselves a point from this game. So another clean sheet for Butland. You can see why I'm so desperate for him to sign a new contract for us, but unfortunately, as you can see, he may be celebrating at the end of this game, but he still hasn't put pen to paper, and the contract saga does continue. We'll get ourselves a point. It's not a bad result, but it is now 3 draws in our last 3 games. First by Leverkusen, then Chelsea, and now against Arsenal as well. Also 4 draws in our last 5 games in all competitions as well, if you count the Everton draw, and then of course the win against Manchester United being the only win we've had in our last 5 games. So a little bit concerning. Yes, I know we're taking on really good sides at the moment, but even so, we still want to try and notch up wins as opposed to draws. But even so, hopefully in the next episode, we'll start winning more games, and that'll be better for us. But that does in the episode though, guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed today's episode of Career Mode, then please do consider leaving a like rating, so that is much appreciated. It really does help my channel out. And also don't forget Club and Country does return tonight, so look forward to that. Thank you for watching this video though. Please do leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.